Hello, and welcome back to Twin Flames Between Worlds podcast. My name is Tabitha.
And I'm Liesel.
And yes, we're back for episode 4 of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas.
Whoop, whoop.
Hello, welcome back. So we're going to be talking through chapters 16 through 21. So we're gonna spice it up a little bit since it's the mid-season. Since we're this will be halfway probably through the book. We're gonna be discussing chapters 16 through 21 instead.
Where things start really getting interesting.
This is, I will tell you, and I told you this when we read this the first time, this was when I was hooked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these chapters were 100%, I was loving Sarah. Like, I loved everything up until a point, but this was definitely my moment of, oh my gosh, I love this author. So,
yeah. I'm so excited.
Yes, Calanmai, ladies and gentlemen.
Calanmai. It's a
So
thing.
we'll get there eventually, but yes, let's start with chapter 16. So yeah, chapter 16. So this is right after the Naga attack and Tamlin saving Feyre. And so so Alice is giving Feyre a bath. And so we get this first sort of Alice Feyre talk.
Alice is so sweet.
She's sweet, but at the same time, like, what were you thinking?
She's not gonna put up with dumb shit.
The voice seems like very much the voice of reason.
Mm-hmm.
So Feyre starts to talk to her about, what the Suriel's warning was if people, like, if the Fae start to go over the wall, da-da-da, and she's very reluctant. She doesn't seem willing to discuss anything. She's like, don't talk about it. It'll bring, like, bad juju if you start talking about it.
Bad juju.
But we see Feyre kind of standing up to her in this moment. Like, finally, after how many pages has it been? 140? She's like, no, I want answers. Like, you guys keep beating around the bush. I want answers to this.
Alice keeps, like, turning her forward, and then Feyre keeps turning around back to face her again. It's like, dang, this is just like, this could just keep going.
This is every time you try to put my hair up.
Yeah, true. It very much is. And I keep having to adjust your head to look straight forward.
I can't stop moving. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you want a crooked braid, that's fine.
I know. So it almost seems like this is like kind of a small thing, but she says, the less you know, the better. Let Lord Tamlin deal with it. It's like Alice somehow knows that Feyre knows that Tamlin is Lord now, and so she's like, okay, well, we'll just call him Lord Tamlin then.
Sure, that works out.
So we finally get some interesting some stuff about Alice. So we get some feedback from her. So she does have a family. Her sister and her mate, so her sister's mate, were murdered 50 years ago, leaving 2 youngling boys behind. And so Alice has to take care of these boys. And so Feyre starts thinking, oh yeah, is that maybe why there was children's books in the library? Were those the kind of sparkling creatures that I saw? I don't know.
Yeah, because why other reason would Tamlin have children's books unless, like, they were his own, maybe?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I guess I wasn't really thinking too much about it. I think I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. But she says that they're not there. They're somewhere else, which is so ambiguous. It's like, okay, you just don't want to tell me. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So she also finds out that the lesser fairies can breed like rabbits, basically. They can have a bunch of kids, but the high fae, it's kind of hard for them to have kids. And so they cherish their they call them younglings. They cherish their young more than they would, like the lesser fairies would.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which
it's
makes
like something, yeah.
because if you have something that's so rare, like, you want to hold on to it, you want to protect it because it's precious. As Alice says, like, high fae young are precious.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. It's also like something important to clock because I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, that's gonna come into play in
Mm-hmm.
terms of how much they care and da da da.
Yeah, 100%.
And so So there's a little bit of, Feyre trying to come at Alice, but then Alice coming back at her, and there's a moment of, okay, we're not so different after all. I
Mm-hmm.
understand why you like I don't want to deny, or what does she say? I don't want to question your dedication to them.
Right.
Just I was kind of blowing up at you for no reason.
Yeah. Because I feel like in
um
a way, Favors had it where people have questioned her dedication to her own family. So that's definitely kind
oh
of along
yeah.
the lines that, like what you just said of, um, hey, we're not actually that different. Like we've been through different stuff, but at the same time, it's made us pretty similar.
It's a point of compromise and contact between like two quote unquote races of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the funny little quip at the end that I just have to say is, the next time that fool Lucian gives you advice on how to trap the cereal, you come to me. Dead chicken's my sagging ass. All you need to do was offer it a new robe, and it would have groveled at your feet.
I love Alice.
I know she's definitely like my favorite character so far in terms of like side characters
Mm-hmm.
because and I'm gonna say this in the future again, but I think Sarah does such a great job at making the side characters that like we still care about them too. It's like, yeah, well, of course we care about Alice's kids and her life, and it makes it more of an important character than just kind of a 2D. Oh, I'm just the maid character. But yeah, so we get another. Okay, I did want to point this out. I don't know what it is with Sarah. I love this specific section. How it's just so many parallels to the chapters before. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's there's so many dinner scenes, and this one is just kind of the catalyst into building that Tamlin Feyre relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally a different atmosphere going in. She knows that Tamlin's a High Lord, so I think she's respecting him a little bit more, maybe a little
Mm-hmm.
bit scared of him, but also and the thing is, she's not really scared of him. It's more like, wait, he's a High Lord and he's been treating me decently this whole time. I'm shocked.
I mean, and I think she's also shocked of the fact that she's been like talking shit to him and about him.
Directly.
Like he's one
Mhm.
of the most powerful beings in Prithian. And she's just been like talking shit to him and being like, no, fuck off, basically. And then like I can just from like the last episode she totally with the cereal, she's just like, oh shit, I've been talking shit about this guy. So he could have killed me this entire time. So why didn't he?
Mhm.
It's
So
actually
it's
kind
like,
of sweet that I always like it when like someone with power like doesn't like shove it in your face.
yeah, Tamlin definitely is giving off that vibe that he he has the power, but he doesn't like to use it in a way that
Hmm.
kind of forces or dominates over somebody else,
Almost like he doesn't want it. I mean, he said he doesn't want the land, so maybe like the power like came with the lands or something, came with the title.
Right. Right. So with this different atmosphere she's going into this dinner, she like brings up a funny she finally brings up the, oh well, because Lucian, what is he like compliments her, and she's like, "Oh, I thought fairies couldn't lie," and then they both burst out laughing and are like, "Wait, what? What's that malarkey? Of course we can lie." And so she's like, "What?"
And they realize that she's not joking about it.
And it's like, "No, we can." It's like, "Welcome to the crash course, and everything you have been taught is a lie."
Great.
So it's like,
Thanks.
so fairies can lie, obviously. I kind of thought that was kind of bullshit, but getting it confirmed was a different story.
Yeah, and
Um,
like in the past, how would the humans have like known that the Fae weren't lying when they said they couldn't lie?
right, and I mean, Lucian kind of does say it. It's like, oh, we told them back then so that they'd actually believe us when we, you know, bargained with them or something, and it makes sense why they needed to do that to make the humans trust them. But goddamn, wow, they're being like spread a bunch of lies. Um,
Yeah, and now
so not
Feyre's like she doesn't know who to trust.
so now she, but the thing is, like, the questioning thing doesn't last too long. Like, she's kind of like, oh yeah, but because Tamlin kind of shuts that down really early. He's like, we never willingly lied to you. We never used your misinformation against you.
And
So
like,
it's
what
like,
does he mean by like willingly? Like, does he unwillingly lie?
yeah, that kind of brings up kind of a question mark in terms of, wait, so now she's questioning what is lie and what's truth, da da da.
Mm-hmm.
But so on top of the lie thing, the iron doesn't do a lick of damage to them either. So only ash can hurt them.
Great.
So
Well,
that's
at least
not
okay. At least it wasn't all a lie. At least Ash actually does do shit.
right. Well, and she knew that because of the her application when she killed Andres.
Sad.
So I think what's so funny about that Sarah brings up is she's looking at Tamlin and she's looking at how kind he is, and she's like, these are the High Lords that are supposed to sacrifice virgins?" Um and she's like, "No, Tamlin is a perfect representation of what the children of the blessed preached about."
True.
And it's like, I think that sort of makes her nervous because she's like, everybody thought those people were zealots. And then she finds out that, if anything, they were more right about the Fae than and no everybody else was.
Although they didn't really have any genuine like proof at the time, so they kind of were just zealots,
But they technically were a little bit right.
which is
um,
unbelievable.
so as she's learning this, I think it's so funny that what's different also about this dinner is that Lucian just yeets the fuck out of there. He just he just like bails on the rest of dinner and leaves them alone.
Oh my word.
It's like, Lucian. But the thing is, what's different about that though is before, when he left, she wasn't comfortable being there with him, and now it's more of a like, it's not that she's scared to be alone with him, it's more of a, well, I don't really know what to do now
Right.
kind of feeling. Um but he asked her how she was doing. I think this is really cute. I don't know about you, but
It's definitely very sweet. It's like he saved
I
her
was
and
like, oh,
then
he's asking her how she
like I mean, honestly, that's
Mhm.
like a very well, yeah, like a human thing in a way. Like in our world we would say, "Oh, that's a very human thing to like care about someone after they've just been attacked by monsters."
Mhm.
Which I think in a way can also still be applied here. It's like just a very normal thing, and it's very sweet that he's caring about her. Like he saved her, but he's not like rubbing it in her face that he saved her. He's actually caring about her and making sure she's okay.
I think what's even best about this is that he's surprised at his concern. Because in the
Yeah.
description, he's like, she notices how he's even surprised by him asking that, and I think that makes him a little bit human-esque, and like it brings out his
Mhm.
humanity.
I definitely
And
imagine him like just thinking like in his mind of just like, hmm, she looks okay. And then all of a sudden like just asking, "Hey, are you okay?" And then in his mind just being like, "Wait, did I say that out loud or just in my head?"
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like the, oh, wait, I said that out loud. Oh, damn it.
Damn it,
Okay,
now
let's
I have to actually continue with this conversation.
I also love how, I mean, obviously he's mad about her going to look after the Sorial, but I think what's so
Hmm.
comedic about that is that he cuts his own face when she talks about it, and
Yeah.
like claws pop out and it like cuts his face.
Yeah, he's like just hand on his like holding up his chin and then suddenly like it shoots out. Like I imagine like he's posed like this or whatever, and it just shoots out and like slices his face and he's just like "Ugh."
It's like, oh, because they're laughing about it. It's like, a human girl caught the Sorial. Oh, wow. And
Like,
I think what's so good about that is Tamlin is being very genuine about it. Like, she is at every turn, she's looking for, I mean, that's her guardedness nature. She's looking at every turn for him to make fun of her, but I don't think he's just so surprised and impressed.
yeah,
Like,
honestly.
and he finally does kind of say that. He's like, no, I'm not saying that to be, an idiot here. I'm saying that because I'm impressed that you caught the Suriel, you killed two of the Naga on your own,
Hmm.
and you like made it out. I'm just shocked and impressed.
So she's clearly not just some human girl that randomly ran into and killed one of his sentries.
Mhm.
Like she can actually, back up her skill. She can walk the walk after talking the talk. Although she
Right,
doesn't really want to talk the talk. She just walks the walk.
right. And so, that kind of calms her down a little bit, and then we find out that he looked in the trash for her like bunches of words. The words
He,
she wrote down.
he wanted to know what she was writing.
And I think it's so cute. He's like, "You love them very much, don't you? I wonder if your family realizes it, that everything you've done wasn't about the promise to your mother or for your sake, but for theirs." And
Hmm.
of course she's getting defensive again. She's like, "Leave me alone. I don't want your help." And he's like, "You clearly don't need my help, but I'm offering, not because I think you need it, but because that's an offer."
Which again is a very. I think if I were in that situation, I definitely would have like felt shocked for a moment because
Mhm.
to be able to hear it's like, oh yeah, like I know you don't need my help. I'm still offering it though. It's like, wait, really?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I like would have taken it up immediately. I'd still probably feel similar to if I couldn't read. Well, first of all, we wouldn't be in this position in the first place. But
You're reading this book, yeah.
although honestly, if like I think I still would have like listened to the audiobook.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
I think I still would have gotten into that. But anyway, I digress. I think I still would have been like a little like insecure about accepting the help. But
Mm.
like if he kept up these compliments of like, oh yeah, I know you don't need my help, and then here's reasons why, 1, 2, 3, I'd be like, okay, fine, I guess you can sit around and help me.
But I guess you can carry the books, babe.
Beauty and the Beast moment of just like on the stacks, like pulling books off and putting them on a stack, and him just like carrying
Mhm.
them.
I have it highlighted. They're fools. Fools for not seeing it. Which, dude, that I don't know, maybe because of when I read it, but that hit me a lot because it's like he's very much calling out her family like they didn't realize what a gem they had
Mm-hmm.
and that they now have lost.
I mean, literally, they've lost her.
Mhm. And there's no pity in his eyes, and like they're getting closer, and this is definitely when I'm starting to feel the romantic tension.
Mm-hmm. There's
Um
something starting to bloom there for sure.
and he even says like he's like, I want to be your friend. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what made it such a cool romance to me because he's not necessarily saying like, "Yeah, let's go bone now." "I saved you, let's go do this," or, kiss or whatever. Like he's saying, "I really want to talk to you. I really want to be your friend."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that threw her off a little bit too.
Yeah,
um
because like if we think about it, Favor didn't really have any friends in the human world.
oh no, not really.
Like she had Isaac, but he
Isaac was
wasn't
her
really a
friend, but also
friend. He
her
was
fuck
uh,
buddy. Like,
he was like a friends with benefits, but only the benefits.
and even then they weren't good benefits.
No, true. They literally
Sorry.
were just fuck buddies without being
I
the
didn't mean to.
buddies.
I'm sorry, Isaac.
Thanks for helping her to this point.
Yeah.
But we're moving on a little bit past you.
But I like how he brings this up because this is finally when I went, aha, I was right. Because he brings up the whole friends thing and he says, you know, um, 500 years ago, enough fairies were friends with mortals that they went to war on their behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And Feyre is blown away. She's like, what? He's like, thinking what we were all thinking, like, the humans couldn't have survived without the Fae's help.
No.
So,
Thank you, Tamlin, for clarifying that.
so the
Because
fact,
apparently Feyre was not seeing it.
yeah, so the fact that the humans fought with some of the fairies, um, in the war.
Mm-hmm.
So we also find out he was a child at the time, so this means he's like 500 years old.
But he still didn't fight in the war.
No, he was a child. Um and but he would have fought for the humans. He makes that pretty clear. He would have fought against tyranny, slavery, all of that. So
So sweet.
A plus. Great.
Good job. Gold
Um
star.
I definitely think this is one of those moments though where they're going really good and then all of a sudden the guy says one thing and she says, "Oh, wait, what?" So Tamlin tells Farah that he altered her family's memories and they um that they don't remember her getting captured. They think that she's at some like that or that she's well cared for and that she's at some other place and or that she's at a wealthy aunt's house.
Like far, far away.
Yeah, and so that they will flee at the first sign of danger. So they have like some sort of trigger in their minds if they hear something going on that they need to flee away from
God,
the wall.
it's kind of like that moment of like, yeah, like thank you. I just want to say thank you so much for taking care of my family. And he's just like, yeah, don't worry, I wiped their memories. And she's like, wait, what? What? You wiped their
So
memories? It's like, no, I just actually no, not wiped. Sorry, I misspoke. I rearranged. They have no idea where you are.
yeah, I I mean obviously of course at first she's like you altered their memories and then but the thing is it slowly turns from anger to I mean honestly I would have asked him to do it. If I
Right.
was in that position I probably would have asked him to do it. And then of course she gets sad because she's like now I really don't have any ties. They're not going to remember me or they're
And they're
better off.
definitely yeah, they're definitely not like coming after her, she realizes.
And it's sad because even Tamlin tries to tell her like your father would he like because Tamlin's other reason for altering their memories was because he knew that her father would try to go after her. But she doesn't think so. She thinks he wouldn't have tried regardless, but he is determined that he would have. And I
Yeah.
like that he tells her that.
And is trying to make her believe it.
Yeah, because at least he believes it. She's left with thinking like, "Well, what is left for me to do? Like, my task is complete. They're safe. They're da da da. Like, I have no purpose."
Time to make a new purpose, Feyre.
And so as she's finally like thinking about all this, she just blurts out, "Paint. I want to paint."
Imagine you're having like this serious conversation of like, trust me, your father would have come after you if he remembered. And then she's just like, paint.
It's like, "Wait, huh? What are
Wait,
you talking
change of
about?"
topic, I guess.
Yeah, so but you know, she finally asks about her passion, and so I'm also happy that she's like wanting to go after some hobby that she likes to do.
Hmm.
He's so happy about this. He's like, of course, like outside on the roof, you can paint in the gardens, you can paint anywhere. I don't care." um, he's just happy that she wants to do something.
And he's
And
like,
he's
and like, I'm sure like you've seen the gallery and stuff. And she's like, wait, what?
like, "Where's that?" She gets like all bell excited, like, "There's a gallery?"
Hmm. But the library to Belle is like the gallery to Feyre. Or
Oh,
vice
100,
versa.
100%. And he's like smiling at her, and then we get their bonding moment because as soon as he smiles at her, broadly without restraint, I have this highlighted. Isaac had never smiled at me like that. Isaac had never
Mm-hmm.
made my breath catch just a little bit. It's like, romance is a brewing. I'm just saying.
You like, and Feyre, you knew that you didn't love Isaac. And part of that, he never smiled at you like that. So now that like, this male is smiling at you like this, hmm?
I mean, obviously, I haven't been in many relationships, but I
Mm-hmm.
think one thing I can definitely like agree with is I don't know, when you're seeing like your significant other, my boyfriend, whatever, just smile and so genuinely, I don't know, it's so beautiful to me and it I think like a good smile is also a very attractive quality.
Mm-hmm.
Especially someone who can laugh and have fun and blah blah blah, but anyway, I digress with that.
A good
um
digression.
so So then we get to chapter 17 where so we get the second nightmare
Mm-hmm.
scenario. So she's having a nightmare about the Suriel and the Naga and a pale faceless woman dragging her blood red nails across her throat. And she kept asking for my name. But every time I tried to speak, my blood bubbled out of the shallow wound on my neck, choking me. Wow. Wow, that's very gruesome and very, very specific. So yeah, again, SJM being gruesome as always. I love it. um,
Terrifying. Why does Favor have like all of these god awful, like vivid nightmares? It's terrifying.
well, the first thing I was thinking of when I heard it was a woman, I was like, okay, to me, the only person it could be is a she person, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it's like, oh yeah, it has to be the she, but also why does she care about names? Why does, this matter? I don't really know what's going on, but it would make sense if it was the
Mm-hmm.
she that they were talking about.
My
And
first
so,
train of thought definitely was, well, okay, I won't say that it was the she that keeps getting brought up, but
mhm.
I was thinking that the this woman in the dream would come in later in the book.
Oh, okay.
So like a potential of like it'll be this person and this other she. Like for some reason I didn't connect that they potentially could be the same person.
Hmm.
Um
I can see that.
but I definitely was like, okay, this person, like considering like the vivid dreams that she's been having, like I wouldn't even be surprised if it ended up like this person came in, or aspects of this dream coming into real life.
Yeah, you need to like. Also, it would make sense if this is a potential villain because if she's having bad nightmares about it, oh, it makes sense. Um,
Exactly. And she's a human in the fairy world now.
so you don't know what's going to affect her differently, or what magic could be
Or like
coming from her.
visions could be a thing that is a normal thing in the fairy world. We don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, we get one of the more gruesome chapters of this part, and I think of the whole book, you know, so far. So as she's waking up, she hears someone screaming from the front hall, or hear like really bad animalist screaming, where she's like, "Oh yeah, this is like sounds like someone being murdered." Um, and so she sees that it's one of the lesser fairies with stumps, and he's like or stumps on the back of his like on his back, and he's like bleeding profusely. uh,
Mm-hmm.
so the one thing to remember is that through this whole big monologue that she has, he doesn't have a mask on, and apparently through Tamlin's talking, he was a summer court fairy who was left at the border.
Mm-hmm. Her first
uh,
look at another court's fairies.
yeah, because also we see that people from this court, they don't have a mask on. So that's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit interesting that they don't. Um, and so what we get to find out is that the she woman or whatever ripped off his wings, not cut them off, ripped them off.
Ripped them off, or like she said it looked like saw marks or something, as if
Mhm.
they were slowly ripped off.
It's like,
God, I
wow.
remember reading the scene and I actually was tearing up before I even knew what was happening.
No mercy. Well, I also, okay, this was me just being like in full theory mode. I was like, isn't it interesting that she had the dream, and then soon as like that ends, there's a fairy who's bleeding that is from, in my mind, from the she person.
Mm,
Like, cuz me, I thought it was, oh, textbook. It has to be the same person, right? Because it happened right after each other. But
right.
again, I don't know. I'm just saying that's what I thought in the first time I read it.
Mm-hmm.
Um so Feyre, I think I'm kind of proud of her here. She's like, she wants to help. She's like, wow, no, I she wants to get in on it in terms of like, no, I need to help him, and she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
shy away from it.
And she,
Um,
like, I think because she hears its screams, um, and is, well, seeing all the chaos that's happening, and she doesn't feel right just standing there watching as someone's in such pain.
mhm.
And also, she's seeing that, like, they're struggling to hold him down.
Well, and also, so we see, so as she's trying to get in there now, Lucian. This is the first time we've seen him like this. He freaks out. He runs away. He throws up on the floor, and he just bolts out of there.
Ruin a perfectly good flower pot.
That's what you're worried about.
Okay, I'll admit that actually was my first thought when I read the scene and he puked
Of
in the
course,
pot. I'm like,
of course it
why
was.
the pot? Like, there's already blood on the floor, just puke on the floor.
He didn't want. I don't know. I don't know what the thought was.
But then,
Um,
okay, then I quickly moved on to very quickly. I'm like, wait, why did he puke?
well, because the thing is, we've always seen Lucian as kind of like the calm, rugged. I'm gonna, be smart ass back, and then we just see him in pure terror,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, wow, I really don't know what's going on. So finally, Feyre steps in, and Tamlin's trying to heal him, and while Feyre is holding him down, and obviously she even says this. She's like, "Oh, he must be like about on the edge of death for me to be
Mm-hmm.
able to hold him down."
Right, because she's a human and he's a giant ass fairy.
Yeah, so he must be like done for, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so obviously the wounds aren't clotting. It's a very descriptive and haha, quote graphic audio. I'm gonna say it again for the seventh time this has happened now. I think the graphic audio does such a good job of making it so serious and so I don't know, like it's so epic and intense. It's like it totally
It
got
puts
me
you in
into
the
that.
space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Um, so the wounds aren't clotting. He's he's just waiting to die. And
And like
so
fairies, like even the lesser fairies, don't they also have like a healing aspect? Maybe not as strong as the fae, but
they do, but I mean, if you take something so vital, it's almost like chopping a head off, basically.
that's true. That's true.
If they take something so vital from them, I mean, that's still bleeding.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was gonna say was like even the lesser fairies, like they have um a sense of like healing power. But if that's
Mhm.
not even working right now, it's bad.
The healing can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bad. So, Tamlin kind of gives her the how do I say, the surgeon look of, yeah, this is not good. He's gonna die. And so okay, in this instance, I think it's okay that she lied to him.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, you'll get your wings back. You will get them back. You can because she's telling him to go peacefully. Don't struggle. Just
Mm-hmm.
go get them back.
Leave this world behind because this one took your wings away. So move on to the next one where you'll have your wings again.
Hmm. And so Tamlin recites I kind of like their prayer.
It's very
So
sweet.
it says, Cauldron save you, mother hold you. Pass through the gates and smell that immortal land of milk and honey. Fear no evil, feel no pain. Go and enter eternity. And I think what I like so much about that is like Tamlin, well, not like about it, he's dying, but um,
Appreciate about the prayer.
is that Tamlin is shook. I mean, obviously, it's one of his kin. I mean, all the fairies are, basically, you know, um, a part of each other, and so to see somebody die so, I think seeing anybody die so gruesomely is not like
Mm-hmm.
a thing that's taken lightly. So he's like wavering as he's saying this,
God,
and
it's so
so
sad.
so we get our first death. Well, I mean, besides Andres, I'm sorry, Andreas, our first kind of in book death,
Yeah.
in the midst of book death. Um, and so Feyre stays with him. She's like in her nightie, in the blood, barefoot, and she stays with him as he's dying, or he's dead. I mean, she wants to go bury him with Tamlin, but Tamlin's so distraught he needs to do it himself. He's like, no,
Because literally, the fairy was dumped on his border.
yeah. It almost seems like it was a message to me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's obviously some kind of message. We don't know from who, but
Mhm.
yeah, to be like, "Hey, High Lord, here's a gift for you." A screaming
'Cause
fairy. It wasn't even a dead body on the border. It was a dying fairy.
I think he feels bad because if he knows it's a message, then this poor person got killed just for a message to him, and that's
Mm-hmm.
can be a little bit overwhelming.
And he
Um,
clearly is like struggling to figure out what to do. And so he probably feels extremely helpless at the moment.
and he is so surprised about how strong she's been and how she's not really freaking out. And so he says, "Why did you stay?" My favorite quote I have highlighted. "Because I wouldn't want to die alone. Because I'd want someone to hold my hand until the end and a while after that. That's something everyone deserves, human or fairy." It's such a
Proof that they're
good,
not so different.
yeah, because I mean that's just humanity right there. That's just like, and if we're talking about in a modern context, it's like we all have one thing. We're all trying to be humans. We're all trying to survive for our families. Da da da. We can all find a common ground in that regard.
Hmm.
Sometimes we forget about the other things that divide us, and so I don't know, to remember that we all don't want to be alone and how we all want to have family, friends, da da da. I think remembering that sometimes can, humble you a little bit.
And I think also at least to me, it suggests to back when Feyre was always hunting alone in the woods and worrying about running into a fairy or a wolf or something, and being
Mhm.
like, would they even like notice if I didn't come back? Like, I'm basically
Mhm.
alone out here. So it
Mhm.
wasn't directly said in when we were reading about her being out there, but I felt that's what I felt happening. Of like,
Mhm.
would anyone notice if I didn't come back? Like, would I just die alone out here?
Yeah, and so it's it's definitely a humbling experience. And so I like this chapter just because it's a little bit of action, but at the same time it's like a very serious. And I think this is finally when she actually truly apologizes for Andreas and means it. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, because she's breaking down. She's like, "I'm so sorry. I can't believe there was so much hate in my heart over something that, you know, I didn't even know him. I didn't even, know that this was a thing." It's just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just see
She
Tamlin.
finally says it. I'm so proud of her.
She what?
She finally says it. I'm so proud of her. She finally apologizes and like truly means it.
Definitely a halfway through the book realization right there.
Yeah.
So that was chapter 17. Wow. So we get a whole different vibe the next few days.
Mm-hmm.
Um so it's like the next day all the blood is cleaned up, da da da, and this time I do want to say it's a such a different vibe because from before, she didn't want to really meet anybody. She is seeking out Tamlin. She wants to seek out Tamlin and make sure that he knows how sorry she is
Mm-hmm.
and how thankful she is. It's like, okay, that's totally a change in character for her in terms to him.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's cute to me.
It
Um,
definitely is, especially because like not only is she super sorry, but she saw how much he was like putting that burden on himself of burying the fairy. She probably also wants to make sure he's okay, which is super sweet.
which also leads in the whole, okay, well, I can kind of see the romance brewing a little bit.
Is there a
Uh,
friendship blooming?
okay, yeah, more of a friendship, but I definitely was thinking first time I was reading this, I was like, okay, yeah, I think we're getting somewhere. We're getting
Some
somewhere.
kind of ship is happening.
Hmm. And so she finally runs into Tamlin and Lucian as they're walking by. And I have it highlighted the whole surreal thing again. Stay with him, he will keep me safe, and things will get better. Fine, I can do that.
Easy enough.
She's fine. She's finally, I think, accepting what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and not even accepting it, just like, I don't know, being like, okay, I think I can do this. I can do this. And so, basically they're going out riding. They're gonna go somewhere, but he's not telling her where they're going.
That's a little sus.
But at least, like, okay, when I heard though that like Lucian was going with them, I was like,
They've got a chaperone.
oh my god. I was like, he said he said your supplies won't return until tomorrow and the gallery's being cleaned. My meeting was postponed. She's like, is he rambling?
He
Why
totally
is
is.
why is he nervous?
God, wouldn't potential like relationships when one of like one person like just starts rambling and like is trying to be like, well, so like you kind of want to hang out. Do you want to hang out? Because I want to hang out, and I got nothing happening. That kind of stuff. It's actually really adorable.
Especially when, okay, I will say though, when like a super ruggedly manly man starts blabbering, I'm just sitting there
Mhm.
like, God, you're cute as fuck.
It's like, this might make me want to take you up on that offer.
It's like, oh, let's go. And so they're going into this when they arrived, it's a beautiful glen of just
Mhm.
greenery and like this is your kind of place. I mean, I think it would be beautiful
100%.
too, but you're more of the earth girl, so
100%.
um and so I think Tamlin knew that they both needed a sort of, because she even says it like, oh, I needed this after last night because this
Mhm.
is just so beautiful versus that. And so Lucian brings like a blanket, and so they're like sitting. Oh my god, he is third wheeling so fucking hard. I was thinking to myself, I was like, why are you here, my man? Like, oh, why are you here?
Again, chaperoning.
Again, yeah, but like I've always been in that third
Or
wheel
rather,
scenario. So
wingmanning.
I feel bad for him because like he's kind of just there. Like
Poor
um,
Lucian.
yeah, poor Lucian, yeah, and so I do want to bring this up because this isn't. So I told this to Liesel. It's not written in the book, so you wouldn't hear it, but in the graphic audio, as she's lying down and playing with the grass, there is a funny graphic audio moment where like, whoever the director was, pure genius. She wrote in there a kind of dialogue between her, like it's like Tamlin says a line and then, or sorry, Lucian says a line and then Tamlin says a line. And what Tamlin asks Lucian, he says, well, what am I supposed to do now? And Lucian, and so they're whispering and you can hear it like in the left side. And Lucian says, go and sit with her, man.
It's like not in the book at all. But like
It's not in
in
the
the
book.
book, it's like she can hear them kind of muttering, but she's focusing on the grass. Versus,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I actually haven't heard it yet, but Tabby's mentioned it, just explaining it multiple times. The like actually
Mm-hmm.
hearing the dialogue of like, go sit with her, go on, go on.
Because it's so like they took artistic liberty in what they said
Mm-hmm.
because obviously it wasn't written, but I laughed because I was like, okay, that's totally like a guy being like, dude, what do I do now? It's like, go sit with her, bro. Like,
Yeah, Lucian's definitely there for moral support.
so again, I'm happy he's there, but at the same time, I'm like, God, bro, why would you do this to yourself?
He's trying to make sure
So
that Tamlin behaves.
right, and so they're kind of, I love their banter back and forth with even the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's like, she finally, says, would you like me to grovel with gratitude for bringing me here, High Lord? And he's like, ah, the Suriel told you nothing important, huh? It's like, oh, well, I guess so. Also, the fact that they're kind of bantering with each other, though, like, even Lucian's like, you made a joke, Feyre.
Oh my god, she made a joke. The world is
So
ending.
I like how she's opening up, because honestly, we didn't see this laughy Feyre at all at home, like
Mm-hmm.
at her like place with her sisters. We
Didn't
never
even
saw
know
her
she could laugh.
once laugh or smile.
Who knew she could
Um
actually laugh and make jokes?
Also, dude, Lucian definitely brought booze.
Uh-huh. He's gonna need it to get through their antics.
Oh my god. And of course, he's like he does the whole, he puts a hand out, I want to show you something. And I want to bring up before we actually move on with this, is that they're doing the thing where at your the talking stage or whatever, or you're like seeing each other phase, where he's touching her more. Not in like
Mm-hmm.
a weird way, but like taking her hand, touching her elbow. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
more of this physical contact that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there before, and I want to highlight it because it's important.
He's just being friendly.
Oh yeah, okay. We know better. We know better.
Yes, we know
Um,
better.
obviously, he's trying to court her, but at the same time, he wants to kiss her.
Mm-hmm.
And so he leads her to this beautiful, sparkling pool of, well, she thinks it's water. Um, and so it turns out to be a pool of starlight, legit starlight.
Which I still don't know how that's even possible.
Dude, he said even Tamla doesn't have an explanation. It's just, well, if nothing is impossible, I guess.
It
So
honestly, when I read that, I thought of like the the saying of like impossible is literally spelled I am possible.
that's a
So
good
like
one. That's a good one.
impossible is I'm possible or I
Yeah, I
am
like that.
impossible, that kind of thing. So I kept thinking of that. I'm like, I mean that applies here, but like at the same time, how does he not know?
Right, right, right. Like so we also I think we talked for like 20 minutes when we first read this about talking like Lisa was trying to be like, what's the consistency of this water? Or what's the because it's like it's not so we spent a long ass time just talking about what the consistency of the starlight
Yeah,
is.
I forgot we did that.
And at some point I just told her, I don't fucking know. Just like suspend your disbelief, they're swimming in it, whatever.
Is it bad that like I one of my original thoughts, I don't remember if I mentioned it to you, was that like, the thickness of like mercury.
Oh
Like I
shit.
was just imagining like them swimming in mercury, a giant pool of mercury.
Oh my god.
Like that's what like my brain went to image wise of like, oh, it's like
Of
shiny
course,
like mercury.
of course it did.
But of course that probably would have killed them.
Well, it would have killed her, probably.
Oh yeah, immediately. And then him like a couple minutes later.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
anyway, so I just wanted to bring that up because I really thought it was funny when we first had our talk. But so we get our first glimpse of Tamlin shirtless because he says jump in, like let's go for a swim.
Starts unbuttoning his shirt of just like, hey, you wanna go for a swim?
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if some hot dude was like in front of me, I'd be like, okay.
Or
Just
no, not just a hot dude. Hot dude starting to undress and be like, let's go for a swim.
and he's like a high lord who's been kind to me this whole time, and I'm sitting here like just nodding my head, like, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, sure.
You would like just be sitting there like fidgeting or playing with your hair or something, and then he'd turn
No,
around like, I did say jump in. What are you doing? And
ah, you
he'd just
know,
be like,
the
oh
reason
right.
the reason she knows that is because she do the exact same fucking thing. The only reason she knows that.
Hey, we're similar.
I know.
We're too similar at times.
So like he's like, don't you want to know what it's like? And she says, I didn't know what he meant, swimming in the starlight or swimming with him.
My thoughts exactly.
It's like, okay, so again, let's go off tangent. So about Lucian. Let's change the subject.
And he just sits down, still his shirt unbuttoned.
It's like, okay, I'll try not to look downwards. Um, but so we get a lot of backstory on Lucian here. So
Mhm.
Lucian has, I mean, poor Lucian, he's been through a lot. Um, we find out that he's actually the youngest of 7 brothers of the High Lord of the Autumn Court. So he is quote unquote a heir of sorts.
How's that though possible? I remember that thing being. Bleh. I remember that being one of my first thoughts of like,
Mhm.
aren't like high fae children so rare? How is it 7 children?
Oh, I know. I was like, dude, this woman must be freaking fertile as shit.
She must be powerful to have that much energy.
Or they must be old.
True.
That could be it too, honestly.
And they've had a lot of time. Yeah.
Gross. Sorry.
I mean,
Thinking
yeah.
about them having to do it so much that like they'd have to pop out 7, it's like, ugh, gross.
Yeah.
So
Moving on.
so anyway, we find out that so again, he's the youngest and apparently the Autumn Court is ruthless, cutthroat, and his brothers only care about competition. And so Lucian never cared about being the High Lord. Well, we also learned that only the strongest can become the High Lord. So versus a more authentic succession line in
Mm-hmm.
more historical or modern romance, it's not the oldest.
Right.
It's any of the children who has the strongest power.
And it's
So
not even chosen by them, really. It's like just whoever the power passes to.
yeah, so even the High Lord at the current moment does not choose who it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cutthroat in the sense with his brothers because, all of them are trying to feel each other out and feel who's the strongest. And of course, Lucian, at least at this point, doesn't seem to have too much power. So he was never really in the running and he didn't really want to be anyway.
Right.
Um, so we find out that he was in love with a lowborn fae female. Um, and that he was hoping that the mating bond would snap into place. Uh, Again, we're hearing about the mating bond, which again they make it seem like it's so rare.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's hoping for it means they somehow had some sort of really strong bond.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how it's described because it definitely gives the air of that. Tamlin says she was put down, not executed, not it put
Mm-mm.
down.
Like some kind of like animal.
Because that's what his brothers and apparently his father thought of lesser fairies, that he
That
wasn't.
like she was just some kind of pet to him.
Yeah. And so his father had her executed in front of him while his brothers held him and watched.
It's like those like entitled parents who are like, well, I'm gonna ground you, but I'm not just gonna ground you. Like you're in trouble, so therefore I'm gonna get rid of your pet.
Oh wow.
Like I've seen
Yeah.
entitled parents like that, and it's like, what the fuck? Well, first of all, maybe that's bad because this is literally a person, but
Mm,
that's definitely the vibe I'm getting from the High Lord of Autumn.
mhm. So obviously I would leave too. Holy shit, like
What a
the love of
bastard.
the only person that I was really hoping to be with there is dead. So of course, why would I stay and be in that? So he abandoned his title, left the Autumn Court, and he ran to his friend, Tamlin. And so Tamlin was High Lord at that time, and so his okay, I thought this was really dumb on his brother's part. Lucian left, abandoned his title, but they still were somehow scared enough of him that they went after him to try to kill him.
I mean, because in a way, I guess that
Why?
makes sense because like the title doesn't matter. It's just who's picked in the bloodline, which I
I
guess makes
guess.
sense. But like, he's made it clear he doesn't want anything to do with them. But they
Mhm.
still feel the need to hunt him down or some shit, and it's like you said, why? Why the fuck?
Mhm. And so we also find out that Tamlin and Lucian both killed one of the brothers.
So now they're down to
So,
5.
yeah, so wow, cuz you know, this is kind of that I don't want to say full on ruler land where the ruler of the land makes all the rules, but it kind of is
Mm-hmm.
cuz if there's trespassers from another court under his protection, of course he has the right to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, I just love how, he's like, and so Lucian was brought on as my emissary because he can talk to people and I cannot.
I have social incompetency.
Like, oh God, isn't that kind of relatable though?
Uh, yeah, yeah.
Also, his father has never apologized, and his brothers are too fucking frightened. to risk harming him ever again. So we're in this stalemate.
Great.
So they sidetrack. So she sidetracks from like the romance and then comes immediately back to it when it gets too sad because it's like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't expect all that. So what if I drink the starlight?
Don't drink the mercury.
Yeah, don't drink. Yeah, please, please don't. Um, he says it would. What does it says? Legend claims you'd be happy until your last breath. Perhaps we both need a glass. Dude, can I get some of that?
Please?
Please. I think that was a funny jab. I think that was funny. I love how he says, "What would be enough to make you happy?"
Is he gonna get it for her? Please?
That's cute as shit.
That's so sweet.
Because he's like, she's like, I don't know, and she's blushing, and then he's like, would you want the moon or da da? And so he like goes off on, he's like, what can I get for you or whatever. She's like, hi, Lord Arrogance. She is totally, oh my god, girl. this is us in a nutshell. This scene is us in a nut, because the thing is, he starts playing with her, and then all of a sudden she goes full brat, and she's like, oh no, he thinks he's gonna one up me with all this sweet talk. I'm gonna start to take my clothes off and get in the pool. Oh my god. I'm sorry for the audio. Like, this is totally relatable to us. Because we don't, I think, as we've talked about this in terms of like with other people that we've been interested in, it's like, oh no, we don't like not having the upper hand. Like, don't, like,
We would
I would,
totally do this shit.
oh yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd be enough to like take my clothes off, but maybe in like a different scenario, I don't know.
Depends on the
Maybe now.
situation.
Not when I was 18. Now, maybe
True.
so. So she says, I'd had enough of that lately. Enough of that girl encased in ice and bitterness. And it says, I have it highlighted. Slowly, so slowly, his eyes roved down, then up. Whoa, what a once over.
It's not even like a quick one that's like settle or whatever. He's just like roving down and roving back up, like scanning.
As if he were studying every inch, every curve of me, and even though I wore my ivory underthings, the gaze alone stripped me bare.
Yeah, because
Wow.
ivory under things, of course, those are going to draw attention.
He's like, all right, let's do this. And just, I imagine, because he's like unbuttoning it, right? So he's like, dude, they're like milking this shit.
Yes, they are.
I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're going swimming now. What's gonna happen? I was actually thinking they were gonna have a kissing booth or no, sorry, not the kissing booth. The oh god, dude, the letters one.
I know what you're talking about.
Dude, this is blasphemy. I should fucking know this. To all the boys I'd loved before. Jesus Christ. There it is. Okay. To all the boys I loved before, the hot tub moment. I was thinking that they were going to have a hot tub moment. I mean, was I a little bit disappointed? Yeah, but I like what happens anyway. It's fine. But I totally, that's where my mindset was going. And so, obviously, that glorious body walking into the pool. And though I will say what's funny, though, is I was thinking the same thing. He's like, yeah, wait, how do you know how to swim?
Trial and error.
How do you know, like, you didn't have any like ponds or anything nearby, it seemed. And she just watched the kids do it. Like, she learned from watching them. It's like,
and from almost drowning.
It's like, oh wow. Okay.
Like, oh shit. Okay, so you're definitely determined.
I think it's another thing for him to say about how proud he, or not proud he is, but how
Also, though, he is kind of proud of her, even though he doesn't like know her super well yet. I feel like there is that sense of like, wow, I'm actually proud for her. Like, because apparently no one else has been.
He's definitely, like, impressed by her, if anything. I like the idea that he's impressed because no one's really ever been impressed by what she's done.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
so
he's
then
never
we
seen anyone like her.
Oh, yeah. I think what's also good is this whole section that we're talking about right now is them just opening up to each other and then just getting closer, and I like this because if anything, this is, like, the telltale sign of a slow burn romance because they're really getting to know each other, and even though they're sort of falling for each other in a certain environment, I like how they're, telling each other things about their past and da da da. And so he asks how her dad lost the fortune.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she gets a little bit mad. She's like, "Well, how did you know?" It's like, "Well, I'm just observant."
Yeah, he isn't super dumb. He's kind of dumb in some ways, but he's not super dumb.
He's dumb in his experience, and for being some like 500-year-old, I can't believe he can't fucking talk to women.
But at the same time,
Um,
he is 500 years old, so he has learned how to observe.
yes.
But maybe he
So
also hasn't had any great role models in terms of talking to women.
yeah, I would think, yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially if you're being like a High Lord son and you're in
Mm-hmm.
that bloodline, it's totally like the prince ideal where nobody really like all the girls just are like, I'm gonna fawn all over you. I don't care if you're rude or da da da. It's like, no, I want someone to have a conversation with me and not,
Mm-hmm.
just think, oh, I'm my father's son, so you have to be nice to me. Um, so we find out that Feyre's father, so we get more information on this anyway, that he was called the Prince of Merchants, and that it was a title he inherited from his father, but apparently they inherited also a shit ton of debt.
Which is
Um,
unfortunate.
which means that their father wasn't necessarily that it wasn't exactly his fault for their downfall,
Mm-hmm.
but what he was the problem was that he sent the ships into like basically the Bermuda Triangle of risky waters.
Mm-hmm.
It's like apparently in this universe, sending ships through Barat is not a good idea. They're not going
Yeah.
to come out.
Yeah. Or if they do, they'll be very damaged and you'll lose profit anyway.
Mm-hmm. And so the ships, so he sent all of that fortune on those 3 ships and they didn't come back. And so
It was a risky move and it didn't pay off.
then we find out that she didn't start hunting until after a little while when she was 14 because the money finally ran out then.
Mm-hmm.
Um and he's just so surprised and impressed and amazed by her like through what she's learned and I think this is why how do I say? Like I thought more about the child thing when we talked about it the last time.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where I think that's where the part of the argument gets me in that term of not argument, but our talk about that because she's definitely more experienced than any other mortal that it seems like he hasn't been around much, but is it's almost like when those people that are still young but have been through a lot
Mm-hmm.
know that they're experienced just based on their hardship. And
Yeah.
obviously it's not a good thing, but at the same time I think that gives perspective and it's like, wow, this person is amazing for being that young and going through this and coming out on it relatively well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think it's a nice sentimental. He's like, yeah, wow. And so basically the end of this chapter is they have that little moment in the glen and in the starlight pool and they're riding back with Lucian and she's like staring at him like, oh no, I have all this information that this is you. This is 100% you where like you find out more about somebody and you can't stop staring at them and then he's like, okay, what? It's like, oh, I just know a lot of information about you now.
I know all about you and your deepest, darkest secrets.
Like that I can't hear. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that why is that me though?
I know, yeah. And so she actually thanks Lucian for the advice on the Suriel, and he's shocked. He's like, "Wait, you're
But
not
I sent
mad at
you
me
to
about
die.
that?" Yeah, like, I basically set you out in that woods to get killed. Um, he's like, "You can't possibly forgive me that easily for sending you into danger." And I think this is definitely I think this ends their tirade of each other in terms of about Andreas.
Mm-hmm.
I think now they're finally just he's just kind of forgiven her in that way
Yeah.
because um he said Tam told me you that your first shot was to save the Suriel's life, not your own. He's like, "Oh, I know far too many in their own culture, high fae or lesser fairies who wouldn't have saved the Suriel."
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like he's realizing that even people in his own race wouldn't have saved this monstrous creature or whatever. So in this moment of solidarity, he gifts his knife to her,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is so sweet.
That is so cute. It's like
It
finally a
just,
friendship here.
I know, it cements in that brotherly bond that I think they
Mm-hmm.
have.
Definitely, definitely
So,
a actual friendship.
right. So yeah, that and then so then afterwards, we move on to chapter 19. So the paints have finally arrived,
Yay.
and she gets to see the gallery. Um, oh, and what does it say? Oh, all this, he had done this all for me, as if I would have cared about the cobwebs or the dust. Me. It's like, you didn't need to spruce it up. I could have gone here 2 days ago. I would
Like,
have been fine with that.
just tell me where it was. Like, I would have been fine with it.
I like how, and I think this is, a lot of the things when I've read like vampire stuff or werewolf stuff, anytime there's people who are, eons or centuries old, they like and appreciate how humans. So the Fae will take that stuff for granted, like the galleries
Uh-huh.
and stuff, because they're so old, they, kind of forget about those things and don't appreciate them as much.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst as she does. And so if anything that intrigues him,
Yeah.
that he's seeing someone appreciate the art.
And it probably hasn't been appreciated for quite a while.
Oh yeah, I mean since there was cobwebs, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure no one went into this
Because it
place.
needed 2 whole days to get cleaned.
Mhm. And obviously these Fae artists are like extraordinary, way better than the human art would have been in terms of
Right.
just because they've had eons to practice. And so I think it's sweet because she starts crying
Mm,
and he's like, I've never knew that humans were capable of
of tears.
well, yeah, or caring so much about like art. And
Yeah,
I think I was definitely thinking to myself when he looked at her like that, I was like, okay, you like her. Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
this over. You like her at
100%.
this point.
No point arguing.
It's like, okay. But I also do appreciate like how he did before he leaves her alone. He leaves her alone to kind of peruse and paint by herself, and I think it's a good man move to do.
Yeah, isn't like forcing himself to like be with her and try and explain every picture. Like
Right,
just
because that's like,
letting her be herself and enjoy it at her own pace.
mm-hmm. So we get our first time jump.
Mm-hmm.
So again, weeks have passed now, where it's. I think sometimes I have to clock it with Sarah because sometimes there were days passing and whatnot. So now we have like several weeks going by. And now it's different from the first time jump we had because the first time jump it was her and Lucian going on rides together. Now it's her and Tamlin going on rides together.
Damn,
It
how it
switched.
progressed.
And so she's like painting around the gardens and da 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 and um Tamlin has to go sometimes off to deal with threats or whatever.
High Lord stuff.
Um High Lord stuff. I like how it says at the bottom here. Oh, yeah. So she's still having the nightmares though, as we're seeing this. She still has the nightmares of the pale-faced woman, and there's this shadowy presence that she can never quite catch a glimpse of. But she slowly stopped being so afraid. Stay with the High Lord. You will be safe. So I did. I like that. I like how
Mhm.
she's had to take the surreal to tell her, but um
What I was gonna say was that like she's finally like starting to actually discover herself as a person when literally her whole life has been either in the shadow of her sister and mother or
Mhm.
trying to keep her family alive. Like now she is discovering what it's actually like to live, even if that took her being kidnapped to Prithian.
I mean, the only thing I was gonna say about that is I think she finally figured out that Tamlin isn't out to get her.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty genuine in his protection, and you're fine to be here and do what you want. Like, you don't have to go on rides with me, but I'm here if you want. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think she thought maybe, and I kind of seemed at first he was pressuring her to do stuff, but now he's more of an option in terms of, you know, like when I have stuff and when I'm available. It's like, it's more, I think her sense of control was the
Mm-hmm.
problem there.
She
I
has
think she
things to
felt like
fill
she
up
was,
her day now.
yeah. And she was out of control before, but now that she's in control, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And um I think I wanted to bring up that I love how there's a comfortable silence because when they're sitting together, it's hard. Maybe I've told you this, but I know I've definitely told you this before. I don't know. I think when you really like somebody, when you like, especially in a romantic way, where you can kind of be in each other's presence, but not necessarily talking to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, even in friendship too. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but
I mean, we
um,
have that moment all the time where we can just sit in silence. Sometimes I think we've actually like gone for a very long time without like really talking.
mm,
But like we're just sitting in silence and it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. It just feels well, comfy.
and doing work and stuff, and
Doing our
you know,
own thing, but like also having like that presence of each other.
mm,
So it's like that's even possible like in friendships.
mm. But I definitely, when in a romantic context, I definitely know that I'm going on the right track with somebody because of
Mhm.
that. Like,
Yeah.
okay, no, I think this is going well.
That's like another thing off the checklist. Just like
Checklist, yeah, yeah, yeah.
check, I can sit in silence for long periods of time with them without feeling awkward.
But of course, she gets into the sad moment though, where um I mean, obviously, once you've gone like weeks and weeks, I understand why she gets a little depressed here because she's like, the mortal world has moved on without me, as if I'd never existed. A whisper of a miserable life gone, unremembered by anyone whom I'd known or cared for.
So depressing thought.
It's like, yeah, I mean, I can see how, because she always wanted her family to care about her the way that it seems like Lucian and Tamlin are caring for her
Mm-hmm.
in some way. Like, she always wanted that with them, and the fact that she can't have it with them is very upsetting, and I get that. I
Yeah.
really get that. So obviously she gets a little mad at him, but it doesn't last long. It's mostly just a I don't really know what to I think this different interaction is different than before because she's not necessarily getting angry at him. It's more of an exasperated, like, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do now.
Mm-hmm.
um, so as she's walking around, she goes into the rose garden. Um, and so of course he comes up behind her. My father had this garden planted for my mother as a mating present. So we hear the mating so we find out that Tamlin's parents were mates
Mm-hmm.
and that the rose garden was for them. Um while still feeling the hopelessness and sadness, I think honestly I think she finally found the root of her anger.
Mm-hmm.
She's finally fucking mad at her family instead of being mad at others for talking about the family.
Right.
She's really angry at them. She's not mad at anyone else. And
Thank God she finally figured it out though.
I mean, and that's something hard to think when you've been surrounded by them your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And like
It's
I
like,
think we're also taught like not to think bad about our families.
mm, it's like, no, I can be fucking mad at them if I want to, in terms of them not feeling like they care, or,
Mm-hmm.
again, that, if I was gone, would they remember me, kind of feeling. She says, she feels bad for being happy. She's like, these 2 weeks I haven't really, thought about them, and I've kind of forgotten about them as well. It's like, I don't, why should I feel tremendous shame for feeling happy?
She shouldn't, but I also understand where she's coming from.
We would feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
She says, though, this is kind of like the line that I highlighted. She said, compared to you, your borders, your magic being weak, and I suppose my self-pity is absurd. He said, if it grieves you, then I don't think that's absurd at all.
Oh.
God, what a positive dude. Like, it's okay. I think, like, something in modern life that I've tried to hammer this home to you as well. It's like, just because it doesn't bother maybe somebody else doesn't mean your feelings about it aren't valid. Like, they are. Like, it might feel stupid in the moment, but if it's something that hurts you and it's something that makes you sad, then that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've
don't
tried
try
repeating
to
it back to you as a hypocritical friend.
it's like, don't try to have somebody tell you that it's stupid, or that you shouldn't be sad about something you're sad about. That's, I think, the dumbest logic I think I've ever heard. So, just want to tell that and enlighten that to the audience. If something is hurting you, making you angry, mad, sad, happy, whatever, you are valid, 100% valid in your feelings.
You are valid.
Yes, you're valid in the moment, in every moment. So,
Life advice.
chef's kiss. Life advice.
Life
So,
advice with Tabby and Liesel.
right.
Our next podcast coming soon.
Right. So, also, I love in this instance that, okay, she's trying to be kind of badass, and she like snips one of the roses off with her hand, and so her hand's bleeding.
He was just like, dang it, I have pain in my hand, but I'm trying to be badass. I don't care.
And so the thing is, he sorry. So he kisses her palm and then sucks the blood, but it's healing her.
It
Dude,
is so sweet
stop.
though. Like I can totally imagine like this was one of the well, I had already been like picturing scenes in my head when I was reading, but this was one that definitely stuck of like I can totally imagine him like holding her hand and like just like turning his head into her palm and kissing it and then like her feeling the pain like fade away.
Yeah.
It's so
And
sweet.
he gives her a cheek kiss.
Mm.
And she doesn't balk from it.
Good, that's improvement.
He said, don't feel bad for one moment about doing what brings you joy.
Mm.
Cause then, okay, dude, this was kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie. Don't. When they're like close to each other in this moment, she's like, "It's such a cinematic. Why do any of this?" And he's like close to her, leaning down on her, because obviously there's a height difference, and you know how much I love height differences.
That again, I expose you. That's her thing right there. Tabby's thing right there is height differences.
So, granted, for the audience, I'm 5'3", so most people are taller than me, so it's not a
Flirty.
huge goal.
Yeah, except for you, like the guys who are like at least a foot taller.
Yeah. I shouldn't reach the shoulder.
You
He
shorty.
said, so he's like so close to her, and he's like, I can just imagine, and especially in the graphic audio, his voice like turned really growly here. He's like, because your human joy fascinates me. It's like, I'm drawn to it even when I know I shouldn't be. Even when I try not to be. Um, wow.
That's a confession, if I ever heard one.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I think this is like the first, he's kind of opening up about his feelings to her, but she doesn't really know how to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the thing is, you know what she automatically thinks? She talks about the lifespan thing. She's like, oh, but why be with me though if I'm just gonna die?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then she's like, ugh, why am I thinking about that? Why is that important to me?
Because it's hard not to, and it, like, I feel like it shows that she, like, is realizing that she might have feelings for him if she's even considering that she'll probably die before him because she's human and he lives forever.
Yeah, yeah. And so, not really. So he left me, and I took a gasping breath, not realizing I'd been holding it in. Me. Uh,
You.
not realizing that I craved his warmth, his nearness, until he was gone. So cute. It's so cute. I
That's
can't get over
honestly
it.
a real feeling, though. Like, if you've been standing really close with someone and suddenly they're not there, like, I know it's written in a lot of books of, like, I suddenly miss his warmth, but no, it's a very real feeling. And, like, you
Mhm.
just suddenly feel very empty for a moment.
Mhm. Definitely. Definitely felt that before. Single Pringles, we feel like that all the fucking time now.
We'll find someone eventually.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll
yeah.
find
We'll
a,
snuggle.
a 6'7" guy or whatever.
Some dude in the NBA.
I mean, hey, then you can play basketball together.
Well, that's true. He'd fucking win every time, though. Just on principle.
No, not necessarily. He might go easy on you because you're too cute.
Yeah, I know.
You know how to
And
get your way around things.
you'll find some dude or girl that's like really, really into music. Just be careful with those music people, though.
True, unfortunately.
Talking from experience, it can be a little bit a lot.
Little bit a lot. We'll
But
see
anyway,
once we get there.
we,
We
we
digress. Jinx.
so so it's like a different day, I guess. So no, it actually is the same day. Sorry. So she's kind of lingering from the little moment that they had, and so she goes out in the woods because she wants to see if he'll follow her or not. And so she lays down a trap for him
She can feel him following, and she's like, nah.
because she knows the signs now. She
Mm-hmm.
knows. So
I'm so proud of her.
she snares him. She snares the High Lord of the Spring Court, and he's like dangling from the snare.
And he, like, has, like, this little, like, growl of when he's, like, caught. It's like, well, he just walked into it. That's his own fault.
I thought they were gonna have a Spider-Man moment where she'd kiss him upside down, but but okay, bro. Just gonna say, this is like again, we're getting into the explicit territory of where she's like running her fingers through his hair, and he's like purring at her.
I definitely will say that made me blush a little bit.
I was like, okay, Tamlin, all right, like just it's like
I
that
mean, I
cat.
guess it's really true. He really does like having his fur brushed.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's her doing it.
True.
And of course, he literally doesn't even, he just like takes out his claw and just fucking snips the snare down. He doesn't even need,
Yeah. And she's like,
it was,
honestly, she's about to warn him, and he just flips super easily. It's like, oh yeah, he's a High Lord.
that's what would have happened if he got caught in the snare that she put in front of her bedroom. Like, that's
Exactly.
what would have happened, but now she finally got him.
That's true. She
Um,
did finally get to snare him.
and so I think this is super adorable. Um, also, well, okay, before this, dude, Feyre's horny as shit. They just, at this point, I was thinking they just need to bang already. They just need to
Yeah.
have at it and, like, talk about the emotion later.
Yeah, there
Because
is
they
a lot
already,
of sexual tension right now.
or just, especially on her part, because because we are seeing it in first POV.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know how he's thinking, but it kind of feels like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's so cute. He writes her limericks. He writes her limericks with the words that she threw away. They're like at the end of the sentences.
Like, dang, he's a poet too?
Dude, hot as shit. Because he leans down to her and he's like, before you start yelling, and he like comes down. If I'd have dared, I could have leaned back into his chest. His breath warmed my neck, the shell of his ear, and he read the poem.
I mean, yeah,
I'm
because
thinking
she
like,
can't read yet. So he hands her these limericks, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
but the fact that he's so close to her, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's hot as shit. And at the same time, I'm not paying attention to what you're saying.
It's like,
Like,
dude, stop it, Farrah. Just focus on him. I mean, not on him, on what he's saying.
so he's writing like dirty limericks, but because apparently in his father's war band, he doesn't like to lose. So they used to do these competitions where whoever could write the dirtiest limerick. And obviously, apparently he's really good at it. Um and I just want to say, when he finished, I tipped back my head and howled, my laughter like sunshine shattering age-hardened ice. I love that.
I do too, but I'm still just sad that we didn't actually get to hear what the limericks were.
Yeah, you did say that the first time.
I was so disappointed. I was looking forward to the limericks.
If we ever have to talk to Sarah, write down this uh
Writing it down right now.
yeah, write down this
Sarah,
question.
what were the limericks? Especially the fifth one, the naughtiest of all. We
I
want to
really
know
want
this
to
shit.
know. Um but anyway, I just like how Sarah describes every time she describes her laughing, I love how it's like at every point it's like breaking a new wall.
Mm-hmm.
And she's definitely trying to, give that, metaphor, new meaning to every time she's opening herself up because she has a bunch of walls that she's
Mm-hmm.
trying to break down. And Tamlin's breaking them down. And so we finally get, obviously this is happening in a day, but we finally get, okay, wait, you said your parents, not their wedding, but their mating? I want to know more about this.
Yeah, what is like mating?
So Tamlin explains that the High Fae mostly marry, but if they do, if they're blessed, they'll find their mate, their equal, their match in every way.
So cool.
Um, High Fae wed throughout without the mating bond, but if you find your mate, the bond is so deep that marriage is basically insignificant in comparison.
Solid.
I mean, obviously, I'm someone, and I've told this to Liesel before. I believe in mates in some way, but I believe in soulmates.
Mm-hmm.
So this was definitely a cute. Oh yeah, that like is so cute. But apparently, it's very rare to them because it's a very
Mm-hmm.
not only a soulmate thing; it's a magical bond,
Right.
not just a kind of a word.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so this kind of gets led in the conversation again. I'm gonna just keep saying this. These chapters are definitely Tamlin and Feyre opening up to each other. So we learn more about Tamlin's family. So apparently Tamlin had two brothers, and obviously he had a mom and dad, but his father and brothers were terrible, and they owned slaves, and they fought for the slavers on during the war side. Um, and so he basically said that he was triggered by her in terms. I think that's why he was so awkward with her at the beginning because of how his family treated humans.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he knew he wasn't going to be like that, but if anything, he felt like kind of like a guilt in terms of,
Mm-hmm.
obviously he couldn't do anything as a child, but he still feels guilty for what his family did.
Yeah, like I don't want to be even close to being like them.
Yeah. So Speyra kind of gets it now why he was maybe a little bit more kind of weird with her at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And so we find out that this mating bond isn't exactly I don't want to say it's all cracked up to be, but apparently her mom did love his father a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
she kind of overlooked a lot of the stuff that he was
Yeah, which
doing
is not
because
great.
no, but also nothing is going to be perfect
Right.
in terms of that. Just because people are fated to be together doesn't necessarily mean that they're what's I don't want to say they're not what's best for each other, but that it's not going to go well.
Mm-hmm.
So we find out that his whole family was killed by the High Lord of an enemy court.
High Lord
So,
Wars.
so obviously that's not good because it means like the High Lords are sort of there's kind of a blood feud already with like High Lords and each other. That's not
Mm-hmm.
good. Um and so because he didn't want to be a threat to his brothers, he joined the war band and um something I keep wanting bringing up that he says he's a good soldier, not a leader. And so that's why he was, against maybe being the High Lord.
Yeah.
But his power kept growing, and obviously he was poised to be the next High Lord. And obviously, because his brothers got killed,
Mm-hmm.
kind of makes it seem like he'd be the one.
There was no other choice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He had the
Um,
signs, and then on top of that, his brothers were killed.
yeah, so, I mean, it's not, yeah. High Lord of an enemy court, that's rough.
And, like, if you think of that, that's 2 High Lords, like, 2 of the 7 most powerful beings in Prithian, fighting it out. No
I
thanks.
mean,
I don't really
I
want to
mean,
watch that.
I mean, obviously, who wouldn't have thought there was going to be a blood feud at some point?
Probably. Honestly,
Um,
yeah. That's what it's like when between leaders and shit.
so I was kind of expecting it, but wow. Um, so yeah, I think another point of compromise and kind of, contingency with them is that when Tamlin became the High Lord, no one wanted a warrior beast to
Mm.
run the place. And it goes back to what Nesta said, that she was a half wild beast.
Dang, Nesta, your words really still keep ringing.
Oh, hell yeah. Very much so. And I think that's like a point of compromise with them because then she says, then they're idiots. You kept these lands protected from the blight when it seems the others haven't fared so well. They're idiots. Just like he said, like the chapter before where he said they're fools for not realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like so alike each other. But again, different.
Yep.
So then we get the you're setting up the I'm sorry, the audience. You're gonna get me so hype over this. So they're setting up the bonfires for what? Calanmai. It's in 2 days.
Drumroll,
They call
Calanmai.
they call it Fire Night. And
Calan
this is
who?
Tamlin's this is Tamlin's words, not ours. I mean, we have it for the title, but it's very fairy. And that's all he has to say about it.
It's like dot. It's very fairy.
It's like, okay, what does that mean?
And he's like, well, it means that you can't go.
Yeah, she's like, wait, I'm invited, right? It's like, no.
Hell
No, you're
no.
not. He's like, stay away from everybody. So he says to stay away from all the people because apparently fairies from across the courts are going to be here and they're free to wander. That doesn't bode well, honestly.
No. Considering, like, he was previously saying, that borders are pretty much non existent anyway, and that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
bad ilk are wandering around. Well, now they're allowed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So I will tell you, and I told you this the first time, and I'll tell this to the audience. Since I read a lot of Fae lore before I read these books, and Calanmai was actually a thing that's written in Fae lore, but it's definitely not what happens in this context. It has some roots, but it's they called it the Wild Hunt.
That's right. That's right.
And I mean basically that is sort of what happens, but not in the same context. It's mostly not about women, it's about uh like actual animals.
Uh-huh.
So Sarah's just taking it and spinning it on the head's head, which I enjoy.
Thanks,
But
Sarah.
anyway, we'll get there. But yes, so she's not invited, and that's the end of that. And so as they're walking, we get a very sudden, tense silence from Tamlin, and he tells her to hide in the bushes and don't come out. Like, uh-oh, seems like an enemy's approaching. So So we get this, so she hears the encounter, but she can't see who they're talking to, which is so weird to me. That she sees Tamlin and Lucian, but she can't see the person, whatever that they're talking to.
I definitely thought, like, similar to a Feyre of, like, are they playing a joke? Because they're, like, just staring at nothing, just talking and being angry at nothing. What the fuck?
Which then makes me think, I'm like, is she glamored to not see something? Because
I didn't even consider that at the time. I was just like, why? Like, what is happening? This has got to
I
be
thought,
a joke.
because I thought she was definitely like spelled into think or like to not seeing something, because that's
Mm,
too weird.
yeah.
So we kind of get this really bad encounter. A very gruff voice is talking.
Definitely once it started talking, I figured she might be. Like, at first I thought because she was hiding behind a hedge, she couldn't see anything. But then when it said that she looked at them and couldn't see anything, then I'm like, oh, there's got to be something there that she can't see.
Mm-hmm. And so, your continued behavior is garnering a lot of interest at court. She has begun wondering why you haven't given up yet. It's like, oh, again, the she person.
Why won't anyone say any names?
It definitely gives me the Voldemort vibe of like, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, she who should not be named.
Yeah. Or, like, you know who.
Because honestly, what if they did say her name and she just popped up at a note? What if it was like a summoning? That's what I
Mm.
was thinking. I was like, if they do say her name, what if it's like a, I'm gonna say Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times and she just fucking shows up out of nowhere. um, but speak you so ill of she who holds your fate in her hands. So apparently this woman is like fucking powerful as shit in terms of being able to wipe out the entire estate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she's unhappy with a lot of the things Tamlin seems to be doing, even though he doesn't really seem to be doing anything.
Yeah, it's like, wait, why is she unhappy with Tamlin? He's just chilling.
And we also get from Tamlin, tell her I'm getting sick of cleaning up the trash she dumps on the border.
My first thought was, like, trash as in the summer fairy that you buried. Was the summer fairy trash to you?
Yeah, I don't think that was a good way to say that, but I think it was his way of trying to get back at whatever's talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Um, the invisible thing laughed again, such a horrible, vicious sound. Though you have a heart of stone, Tamlin, you certainly keep a host of fear inside it. Don't worry, High Lord, all will be right as rain soon enough. Wow, that's a threat if I'd ever heard one.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. So obviously I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, this has to be some like monkey lackey of the queen, or because
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking at this point, Wicked Witch of the West seems like a
Yeah.
queen in her own right. Uh like who is this bitch?
Right. And, like,
um
something that stuck out to me, I remember, was the fact that this voice said, like, there have been, like, rumors going around at court. It's like, what do you mean at
mhm,
court? Like, isn't this a court?
right. It has to be
Like,
one of the other courts, right? That's what I'm
right.
thinking.
Or, like, but, like, there's no such thing as, like, a high lady, right? And so, like, is going back
Mhm.
to the idea of, like, is this she a consort or something?
Mhm. You know what the biggest thing I picked up though from the conversation was
Hmm.
they talked about the traveling cave. Lucian said to not come through the cave again. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, I'm like, the fuck is that? I think there's so much information getting thrown at her that she doesn't know what to pick up on.
I mean, yeah, totally.
She's like, traveling cave, she who holds the hate, like, wait,
I
what?
mean, and I didn't even think of, like, when it said come through the cave. Like, I wasn't even considering that as, like, a traveling cave of, like, in between two places. I mean,
Mhm.
I've experienced that before in other novels and fantasy books, but I guess I just hadn't considered it. I'm like, cave? Like, what? Is there, like, wait, what? I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
confused. And then, like, even, like, yeah, I just didn't know what to think.
Yeah, it's a lot, but
She was
so
overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed.
but it's also definitely intriguing and interesting to keep
Yes.
you going.
Like, who
So
the frick is this creature thing voice?
Lucian did not know that she was there. He was like, what the fuck is she doing here? And so we find out that it's called the Adder. And what a kind of good name for it.
Ugh.
Um,
Gives me chills even just thinking.
So yeah, that's a really bad encounter to have.
How was it in the graphic audio? Like, what kind of voice was it?
You know what? The Adder's voice was kind of weird in the graphic audio, I'm not gonna lie. It definitely didn't sound monstrous. It sounded like, okay, let me see if I get he says, she sets them loose as gifts and reminds of what will happen if we fight. Like, it's definitely like a posh like dude, and I'm thinking to
Like a
myself,
pompous dude.
that is not what I was expecting.
No, I'm totally thinking of like growling of like.
I mean, it growled a little bit, but it was kind of off
Yeah.
in terms of the vibe that I was getting. So wasn't too impressed with that, but again, I still love it, so I'm not gonna shit on it too much. But um, so then we get into the next chapter, chapter 20. So obviously it's tense now as the following day is going on. And so she actually paints an image of what she believes the adder looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, from how she described it, I mean, again, we don't know what he looks like, but
Mm-mm.
kind of seems spot on to me.
And like she was
Because
saying, like,
I'm thinking,
didn't she say like the air like just smelled like really bad?
oh, it smelled like carrion. It smelled like death.
So
Yeah.
as long as like the creature she paints looks like death, it seems like it should fit all right.
Right, right, right. And so, of course, nothing much is going on during the day because it's Calanmai at the night, and everyone's getting prepared. Alice
Mm-hmm.
is, getting prepared for food preparations, and the kitchen is like empty as hell. And this is where the graphic audio really impressed me because the book describes as there's drum beats going on,
Here we
almost like kind
go.
of like a summoning, and um throughout the whole bit of this, it's continuous. Like the drum beats in the back are so subtle enough that they still continue. And then of course they grow as stuff goes on as she gets closer, and it's just beautiful. I love it. Perfect A+ on the director for that. And so it's almost like she feels like there's this summoning, this thread to pull her to go, which is a little bit weird because if it's like a Fae thing and why is she being summoned? Why
Right.
is there this pull for her? She's a human. If it's a Fae thing, that's a little bit weird.
Maybe my thought around that was, maybe it's a Fae thing in terms of like the ceremonies and like the festivals part of it is very Fae, but maybe like it has something to do with um like the magic around her.
I guess, yeah.
And so even though she's not Fae, she is in Prithian, so like she's surrounded by magic. So maybe, kind of like if you I don't know if this is a good analogy, but like if you're like scooping water with a cup and you just happen to be a fish swimming, like you're gonna get scooped up anyway because the water around you is being scooped up.
Ah, okay.
So that's kind of
I
what I'm
get
thinking with the magic of like the magic is being pulled and she is being pulled with it because she's
it.
there surrounded by it.
Okay, I see that. So I just love how she's kind of like, Beauty and or not Beauty and the Beast, but Sleeping Beauty coming down the stairs as she's being pulled. And all of a sudden she just sees Tamlin burst through without a shirt on, with like a baldric slash of like around his chest. And she's just like, and he has paint all over himself. She's like, the fuck are you doing?
This is Sleeping Beauty and the Beast.
It's like he said it's and so this is a different Tamlin than we've seen in these last couple of chapters. He's very like jerky, he's flatly talking to her,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a little bit angry. He's like, go to your chamber, lock your door, set up a snare, whatever you do. He's like, just do it, don't come out until morning.
As we know, the snares don't work on him.
So I just want to say he warned her.
He did.
warned her ahead of time to not do it. Anything that comes after this is 100% her fault.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
I have no sympathy. She was definitely, I mean, they probably should have told her what was going on, but also,
Yeah, because like she's already proven like that she's very curious and will eavesdrop or like wander around to learn new things. Um, so you not telling is literally gonna make her want to know more.
I know. But again, she was told.
She was at
so
least warned. She wasn't told about the event, but she was warned.
so she does stay in the room for a while, but then at some point she almost hears this voice in the back of her head like, go to it. And so of
Hmm.
course, as our curious protagonist, she does not stay in the room for long. She goes and takes a horse and rides it bareback to the party, as we like to call it.
Partey.
Um and it seems like all the Fae seem to have a pull as well. Um and so obviously there's, Fae without masks here. There's a lot of different people. There's even, ones with spring court masks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the weirdest thing was that no one fucking like acknowledged her presence. Because if I'm thinking as the Fae were, I mean, obviously the Fae would know she's human because they'd smell it.
Mm-hmm.
No one's really paying attention to her as she's like walking through and walking around.
Right.
Because then she sees like a bunch of fires and she sees hills and then she sees this big ass cave on the hillside. She doesn't go in it, but she sees like a cave mouth and like, people lined up and paths and shit. And so
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's getting a little bit weird. It's like, whatever this great rite is. It's like, okay.
This is definitely a bit
So she's
strange. Definitely a bit fairy.
she's trying to look for Alice because she's trying to see where she is, but obviously I'm thinking of this as like a huge, I'm thinking of this in the terms of, a big ass concert. How the hell
Mm-hmm.
is she gonna find her in there?
Right.
It's gonna be pretty hard.
Not
So
impossible, but very hard.
we get the three fucking assholes.
God.
um, the gross, sorry for quote unquote rapey dudes.
The pervs.
The perv. That's a better way of saying it. But I mean, honestly, what were they going to do to her? Probably rape or assault her. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That's probably what they were gonna do.
I mean, yeah, considering, like, as she soon learns, that's what that
Mhm.
night is for, assuming that all
Yeah.
females there are willing.
Yeah. Right. Um.
Although
So
I feel
yeah,
like
they're
they still would have done it even without willingness.
they're definitely fairies. They're not like the high fae like Lucian or Tamlin, but of course they're like roving down at her. A human woman. It's like, ugh, gross.
Ugh.
Dude, the graphic audio for these guys were so fucking gross. Because
Ugh.
remember, we listened to this. Remember, I
Yeah,
made you
yeah.
listen to this because he's like, just some fire night fun. It was
Ugh.
like, ew.
And I remember cringing so hard at it when you played it for me, and I'm just like,
But it was
oh,
good.
whoa.
It was. I mean, that's kind of probably what it would have
Yeah,
been.
it fit the character really well, but at the same time, made me want to punch him even more.
Right.
And I'm not
No,
a violent person.
I can't believe they're still not a little bit weird that there's a human person here.
No.
They're just kind of like, oh, like bold statement from you tonight.
It's like,
Like,
ooh,
wait,
a human, I'm just gonna go with it. Cool.
um, of course she's like, trying to fight back against them, and they're taking her. So they're taking her, like leading her into the darkness, which is so fucking
Into
scary.
the forest away from, like, all the fires and other fae.
She's
Right.
about to take out her knife, and so they're gonna push her to the ground, but then a sturdy hands grasp under her shoulders before I could draw them or hit the grass. They were strong hands, warm and broad. Uh there you are, I've been looking for you, said a deep, sensual male voice I'd never heard. But I kept my eyes on the three fairies, bracing myself. The three lesser fairies paled, their dark eyes wide. Thank you for finding her for me. Enjoy the rite. With enough bite beneath his words that the fairies stiffen. And they just fucking scatter. And the chapter ends with, I stepped out of the shelter of my savior's arms and turned to thank him. Standing before me was the most beautiful man I'd ever seen. Wow, Sarah. What a fucking way to
Dang.
end that. What?
She really knows how to end chapters, that's for sure.
Oh, 100%. Like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, whoa. Also, isn't that a little bit weird that you're saying this dude is hot when you're, like, into Tamlin?
I mean,
I
but
think it's a little...
sometimes you just gotta admire, like, someone's beauty.
True,
Or it
true.
might
And
have been the sense of, like, you know, kind of, what is that moment of, like, this guy just saved your life, basically. He just saved you, so he also looks even more beautiful because it's like, you know, halo around their head of like, oh, they must be an angel for saving me.
Right, and it's almost like this moment definitely had me... I think we said this before, but you know when... I mean, obviously, you haven't been to a bar, because Liesl just turned 21, so you haven't ventured too much into the bar sphere, but for me, there's definitely moments, though, where, like, a guy or a girl will just kind of say or do something to kind of save somebody from a different scenario, from, like, a creepy dude.
Mm-hmm.
This is totally what that was making me think of, where there was kind of a bystander. I mean, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
apparently he's attractive, but a bystander kind of noticing that this woman is basically getting herded off
Mm-hmm.
against her will.
A good
And
Samaritan stepping in.
so it's like, I definitely thought of it like that, in terms of, I mean, again, before we get to the next chapter, but um definitely, wow. He's kind of like saying that it's almost like he's trying to pretend that he knows her,
Mm-hmm.
because he's like, oh yeah, get away from her. But what do you think about the fact that they were scared of this person? I was like, uh-oh.
It's
I
like,
was thinking kind of like her.
I mean, like, as we're about to get into, like, he
Mhm.
definitely has, like, an aura around him, so maybe that's what scared him.
Mhm.
And, like, I don't know, maybe they had a bad run-in with him before, was definitely one of the thoughts I was originally thinking.
Yeah, so obviously this guy is... so as we get into the next chapter, chapter 21, she says, and I have this highlighted, everything about this stranger radiated sensual grace and ease. But obviously at the same time, she's kind of a little bit wary,
Mhm.
because it's a new person. I mean, I mean, you should be wary of any, stranger danger. That's what,
Yeah, and, like, also the many warnings of keeping her wits around her. And
Mhm.
one thing that I thought in a recent reread of this section was the whole
Mhm.
idea of, like, hey, don't go out at night, especially in Prithian.
And especially with a bunch of fucking fairies. I don't know.
And even more so now, when she's been told there's more fairies than usual. And that they're not just from this court, so they're not under the rule of protection for her
Mhm.
from, like, that Tam gives. And so she's already, like, broken that rule, other than sneaking out
Also.
against their warning and then also sneaking out at night.
Mm.
It's like, okay, great. But, like, I am glad that she has a wariness about him, instead of just being like, oh my god, like, pretty face, my hero, I will do anything for this man.
Yeah, that would have been weird if that was the case. But I do like... so we never get this guy's name. He's
Mhm.
just the stranger. And so we get his description. He has short black hair, like raven's feathers. He has pale skin, and he has blue eyes so deep they were violet. Though, dude, okay, I I mean, I'm super wary of this guy, in terms of, just again, because he scared off so many those, like, guys. He must be powerful. But I will tell you, Liesl knows this. I can't help but think that, I mean, I'm totally on her side of the... any guy with, like, dark hair, brunette, black, and, like, blue, almost violet eyes, that's hot. That's
Or, like,
automatically
just
hot.
in general, like, dark hair and lighter eyes,
Mhm.
immediately just like, okay, that has my attention.
Oh, that's cute. I mean, I obviously thought this guy was going to come back into play sometime. It's like, okay,
But that's the thing we learned with Sarah, is like, if she brings someone up, they're gonna come back.
also that's like a normal book thing. Like, why would you have this guy show up and then never again?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, anyway, so she doesn't really know what to say to him. He says, "What's a mortal woman doing here on Fire Night?" His voice was a lover's purr that sent shivers through me, caressing every muscle, bone, and nerve. But she's like weird about it. Because she's like, what made you so scary to them that it's almost like a weird caress in the terms of like, ooh, I'm waiting for the caveat to come.
Yeah. And like, she's definitely feeling that aura and just being like, no, something's off here. Something's not normal.
Though I will say, in the graphic audio, I loved this dude's voice. It was amazing. I loved it. 10 out of 10. I was like, because the description definitely gave me what the voice quality was.
Sensual, right?
Like, I could just visual. Yeah. Like, very, very sensual. Very. It's kind of hard to say. Oh, how does a sensual voice sound? They did it. They nailed it.
Is the did the voice actor stay the same throughout the books? Just curious.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, that just randomly popped into my mind.
Yeah. And so of course she's like lying her ass off, and he's circling her like a predator to prey. And I think that's what's getting her like scared.
It's like, oh, he could have just been a savior and like talked to her face to face. No, he's circling her.
And he definitely doesn't believe a lick of what she's saying. Like about having friends here, or he's like, "You're welcome for saving you, by the way."
Both very arrogant.
Though there's something about him, I could have sworn tendrils of Starkist Night trailed in his wake. Aren't humans usually terrified of us, and aren't you, for that matter, supposed to keep to your side of the wall? Again, thank you. This guy is responding how I actually thought they were supposed to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, what are you doing here? That's a perfect thank you, actually.
Whereas everyone else is like, oh, it's fine.
I might be a little wary of you, but I mean, thank you for thinking what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so she says, they went to get refreshments, and he's like, whoop, that was the wrong thing to say. Also, Feyre, nobody's walking. It's not like this is some party out in the woods where everyone has red Solo cups. There doesn't seem to be any food or fucking read between the lines.
God, that would be so funny though. They were just walking around with red Solo cups and like plastic plates of food.
Oh my god, and like a keg or something. This is definitely what I was thinking of.
God.
And so he asks if he wants to escort her somewhere. And of course she's like, no.
Good. Good. At least those instincts are in.
Stranger danger, do not go with... Okay, because anytime some dude is that alluring, there has to be something more there, is all I have to say.
And like, on top of that, literally, he scared away 3 fairies by like just standing there menacingly.
He has to be well known or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then all of a sudden he's offering like to escort her somewhere. That's almost like, hey, I saved you. You want to give me back a favor?
It's like, no.
No thanks.
She asked, she's like, of course, this is kind of a dumb question though on her part, but she's like, so you're not part of the spring court? He's like, do I look like I'm part of the spring court?
As if he takes like so much offense to that.
He said, no, I'm not part of the noble spring court, and I'm glad of it.
The noble spring court. I can totally imagine, like, and probably you can reinforce that with the graphic audio knowledge, but like the noble, like saying the noble spring court, like almost like ridiculing them.
Almost jealous in a way, I would say.
Either jealous or like mocking. A mix of both, maybe.
Though he definitely, this is definitely where I was like, oh, okay, sir. He says, all the monsters have been let out of their cages tonight, no matter what court they belong to. See, I may roam wherever I wish until dawn. Basically saying that he's a monster.
Great.
And that he has been, quote unquote, let out.
Great.
Wow. I don't know who you are, but like that didn't give me any like hope in
Yeah, that's sus.
It's like, oh, okay. But the fact that he just leaves, that's what gets me. I'm like, okay, so this guy just came in, saved her, gave her some weird like comments, and then was like, okay, I'm
Have
out.
fun.
It's like, okay. It's like, okay, okay. That would have been my cue to leave. Like I like that would have been my cue to go
Mhm.
and leave.
So you've already survived, like, barely, like, getting out of 3 fairies, like, forcing themselves on you. And then you
Mhm.
get saved by this mysterious stranger who then offers to escort you somewhere, but is just, like, also kind of mocking the spring court and then just
Mhm.
wanders away. Like, that's definitely like, okay, that's enough for one night.
So obviously she starts kind of shaking, and obviously she's scared at this point, and so she's walking through. But and guess who does she make eye contact with? Of course, it's Lucian.
Yeah, at least it wasn't Tamlin.
If anything, honestly, Lucian probably would have been the best person to get at because he has the bright red hair, the golden
Mhm.
eye, like he's easily spottable.
Yeah.
But the fact that he makes eye contact with her, widens his eyes in shock.
Even his metal eye widens.
He books her back to the house. He doesn't even have time. He's like, what the hell? Have you lost your senses? What are you doing here? And before she can even say anything, he picks her up, puts her in like the Shrek carry, and
She's
like,
she's just so confused, like, wait, I need to get my horse. It's like that is the least of your concerns right now.
fucking leave. Just pan no. It's funny to see Lucian kind of going through all the stages of grief in one sitting. He's like, he is panicking. He's like,
Yeah.
what the? Oh my god, you're idiot, useless. Jesus Christ.
Stupid the human.
He's like, okay, didn't someone tell you to stay in your room? It's like, it. Oh, so he's just freaking out. He's like, by the cauldron. If Tam found you there, she's like, whoa, 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 slow down. What the fuck are you talking about?
So clearly no one has told her.
And so this is one of those moments where, of course, no one fucking told me anything. If they did, do you think I would have been there?
I mean, there's a potential she might have.
With what it is, probably not, but
I
maybe
feel
a
like
little
though,
bit.
like maybe she would have at least like left her room still, because I feel like those drums are pretty enticing,
Yeah.
hypnotizing. But yeah, maybe you're right. She wouldn't have like actually gone all the way there.
Well, I even like it how during this whole conversation though with Lucian, it feels kind of painful. It don't like in a way, his face is kind of pained that he's so far away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they're supposed to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Um, so of course we get the full explanation. The
Finally.
uncomfortable first. So it's the Fire Night is the official start of spring, and Prithian are as well as in the mortal world. So how they regenerate their crops with magic,
Of
they
course.
conduct
It can't be
the
normal
great.
farming.
Definitely not. Conducting the Great Rite. Each of the 7 High Lords of Prithian perform this each year, since their magic comes from the earth and returns it to the end. It's like, okay, so get on with it. What is it? It's like, so, Tamlin lets in magic into his body, and he becomes the hunter, with his sole purpose of finding the maiden. And of course, Lucian's like that parent trying to explain sex to the kid.
The birds and the
And
bees, and it's like, go ask your father.
it's like, so from their coupling, magic will be released and will regenerate for the year to come.
Bingo
It's like,
bango, magic is here for the next year.
she's like, what?
Coupling? You mean the guy that I've been flirting with for the past couple weeks, months, however long I've been here is coupling with another female tonight?
Can I just tell you how Feyre... Okay, she doesn't balk from the whole explanation. She's just like, well, wait, who's the maiden? That's what you're worried about?
Yeah, clearly.
She's like, well, who's he gonna have sex with? So apparently all those women that were there were all people that Tamlin could have chose.
They were
Which is
lined up for his choosing.
kind of insane. But again, Tamlin is kind of a celebrity in sorts because all of those High Lords, anybody would have wanted to sleep with a High Lord. It's like basically sleeping with, one of the members of BTS. You since
Yeah,
there's
just
7
like,
of them, I just had to do that.
of course, that's fine. I
Don't
mean,
get Lisa
it'd
pumped
be
up.
it'd be the case for both of us in that sense.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's definitely like, oh, he's like this all powerful High Lord person, like this all powerful like person. Is probably gonna be pretty good in bed. Probably anyone wants a chance with that, at
Yeah.
least.
Oh hell yeah! Like, I think that's why she doesn't balk from the whole other explanation. so so she's like, "Well, why are you guys there?" It's like, "Oh, well, Lucian's like, oh, well, we get our pickings after Tamlin gets his." So Tamlin gets, or what is it? Lucian gets a free night to just shag somebody.
And she's like, wait, so that's why those guys.
Okay, not saying that's giving them an out for what they did. Obviously,
No.
that's no consent at all, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I get why they maybe thought she was.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're saying blanketly that every girl there is up for sex, it makes sense on their part to think that, but also, again, we're not gonna be like, oh, well, I understand why they did it. No, they're assholes. That's stupid. That was a fucked up saying.
Yeah.
But it makes sense now. So, so, so I have it. You're lucky I found you when I did, though, because he would have smelled you and claimed you. But it wouldn't have been Tamlin who brought you into that cave, and I don't think you would have liked it. Tonight is not for love making. Excuse me?
So basically, it's, well, no, actually, no, it's not.
It definitely gave me that vibe, and it's what I mean. Obviously, this is a more extreme version of some of those scenes. Again, this is what got me hooked. This right here is what got me hooked because it turns on the head. And again, Sarah, wow, the whole, when the guy best friend says, "Oh no, he really likes you." This is that kind of thing where it's like he legitimately, his base instinct, his base man instinct is to find her because of his feelings for her.
Yeah.
And obviously because he likes her a lot, of course she'd be the one he would seek after.
Mm-hmm. If he even like
Because
barely smelled her.
metaphorically you're almost like taking away I mean, obviously it's a little bit barrel and animalistic in a way, but I don't like to think of it exactly like that. It's very just pure. You're taking away all the other barriers and you're just thinking base instinct about what you are feeling for that
Mm-hmm.
person. And so the fact that he's thinking that about her kind of throws her off guard, but at the same time she likes it. She's totally into it. It's not like she's like, ew, gross, but she's like, oh, he wants me.
I think that kind of goes back a little bit to what we said in like the first episode of like, it's great that she's not a virgin. Like she has had sex before. She's redded before, which it definitely is what it sounds like Tamlin is doing. Redding for the sake of magic for someone's cornfield. Um, to put it bluntly.
Sorry, you took me off guard with that. Oh my god. Okay, continue. That was good. That was good.
But so it's like, so she's not like scared of the idea of like sex, really.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Is that not what it is?
No, I've never heard you say that before. But it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, you're a fucking mountain person. I didn't think you'd make a cornfield reference. This is what happens when you go to college in Indiana. You start making cornfield references.
Yeah, because that's all we got here.
Anyway, moving on. So I like how comedic it is though that when the drums stop and there's a pulse of magic in the air, she immediately is like, well, that means he finished. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. Um,
Finished so hard that that the music had to stop.
oh my god, that's so blunt. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, I dig that. Kind of funny. That's very funny because she's like, I can't think too much of why that pulse of magic happened because that means finished. Okay, no, I'm not gonna think about it. Oh, so she has the brilliant idea of being like, well, I want a cookie now.
To recap, she's been waiting in her room now. Lucian had
Yes.
previously left.
Mm-hmm. Dude, okay, she deserved this. She deserved what happened in the last of this chapter. Like,
Oh, I
she
thought you
should.
meant she deserved the cookie.
No. She deserves to have what happens to her happen to her because she was told multiple times to not come out of her room.
And even after being explained for once, like, what the actual event was, she still came out.
Dude, what if. Dude, she probably meant for that to happen. She wanted to run into him to just see how much how feral he was.
What a kinky
And oh
bitch.
boy, did she get it.
Just such a kinky bitch.
I know. So again, she's like roaming the halls, and of course she's thinking to herself, well, Tamlin is a high lord, and it's a great honor. I suppose he's handsome. And she's like, well, I guess the woman was probably beautiful. Definitely jealousy going on here.
And a little bit of her brat nature coming out.
Oh, definitely. And so, of course, so she's like nibbling on the cookie, and then all of a sudden, just the presence, a guy standing at the end of the hall. It's Tamlin.
Dun dun dun.
His eyes are full black. Like, I was actually describing this to my dad. Remember in Finding Nemo when Bruce, like the shark, would like smell
Oh
blood?
yeah.
The black eyes? That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of this, it's like Tamlin full feral. And of course, what the fuck? She doesn't even balk. She's like, of course, midnight snack, going out. And she just tried to brush past him like nothing happened. And then, of course, he, I don't want to call myself out too much here, but he, so I don't want to call myself out too much here, but he pushes her up against the wall.
So she has a height thing, and then she also has a wall thing.
Oh, don't worry, bitch. We'll get into the stuff you like later. Don't even worry about it.
No, that's
We're calling me out right now, but we'll get to her stuff. Don't worry.
Well, I'm gonna pretend that we're gonna get to my stuff.
Yeah, let's just continuously call me out. But so he's like, I smelled you, I searched for you, and you weren't there. He said, you drove me mad, and you weren't there. When I didn't find you, it made me pick another. She said, I couldn't escape, but I wasn't sure I entirely wanted to. It's like, you kinky bitch. Like, I love this. I love what's going on. And then, whoa, this is definitely where we get Tamlin at his most, like, I don't want to say base male instinct, but more like, okay, this guy is just being blunt with her at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, she asked me not to be gentle with her. I would have been gentle with you, though.
I don't know about that, though.
Well, I mean, maybe because because they have this, how do I say, I think it's like a metaphor for because they've liked each other and because they've built this friendship, is that definitely the first time would have been more of a lovemaking instead of a, like, rutting situation.
But also, like, the magic was taking
like,
over him.
Well, not if they shagged right there, of course, probably not. It probably wouldn't have been. Um, but he's like, I would have taken a very, very long time. It's like, okay, sir, okay.
Making everyone else wait.
Dude, and then again, this is again where I was just hooked, dude. I'm not gonna lie. She's like, she does her brat nature, and she's like, why would I want someone's leftovers? And she pushes him off, and then she tries to leave, and he bites her on the neck. What? This is just it's just all me, okay? This is all me. This is all okay. I'm embodying Feyre here, okay? And the thing is, she doesn't hate it. Again, so okay, I'm not gonna call out my friend. I'm not gonna call her out on camera, but I think my friend was a little bit. She's like, "Oh, this is weird." I mean, she just wasn't into this, and I get it. I understand, but she wasn't. She was digging it. There wasn't like this like non-consent thing going on. She was like, actually, I'm kind of into this.
I feel like she definitely could have like pushed Tam off more, like immediately after the bite.
Well, because the thing is, well, first of all, he says, "Don't ever disobey me again," and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, wow."
Possessive much?
Yeah, don't tell me what to do. Um, and of course she's like, "I wanted him everywhere now." It's like, God damn it. Though I will say that I think it's a telltale sign though for him, the fact that he still walked away even after biting her. I think it shows how much control he did actually have.
Because he honestly wanted their first time to be like more love making.
I mean, again, that's like the romance aspect of it being like, oh, well, I think the reason that happened and because he walked away was because he knew things were getting too intense and this wasn't going to be the night to do that.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, wow, wow. You understand why this is our favorite part, or well, at least one of our favorite moments in this whole fucking thing. I also like it because it's like the first. I don't want to say sexual encounter because it's obviously not.
It was definitely the first scene that like made me blush.
It's sexual encounter, but it's not necessarily sex.
Sexual tension.
Oh, 100%. I'm thinking like, okay, they have to bang in like the next chapter, right? Like, I'm not the only one
Banging gotta
thinking
come
that.
soon, right?
So, anyway, I'm really glad. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as we did. Called each other out a lot during this.
Mostly her, and I'll probably get payback for that later.
Yeah, mostly me, but okay. Whatever. We're so happy and so excited to get comments and everything like that. About everything. We finally got to 100 listens. I don't know if everybody saw it, but we got 100 listens. So I wanted to personally thank everybody who's listened so far.
It makes us so happy that we are actually being able to. It makes us so happy that we're able to connect like this.
Because I also wanted to. I mean, the reason we started this in general was to, I don't know, make people laugh, smile, cry, whatever through these books. And I think we're getting that. So again, share it with anybody who you think will like this and like us or, anything like that. So yeah, we'll see some of you in the next episode, the next mini episode. Yeah, comment down below what you want to see for the mini episodes. We want suggestions that you'd like to hear.
We've definitely decided to go more along the lines of a specific topic. Since more people seem to like that.
Yeah. And we'll see some of you in the next main episode, but we did also want to say we decided that like sort of our halfway, we will have a YouTube live going on November 4th. So we'll have more specifics along the way for that. But so again, it won't be on Spotify or anything else. It'll be specifically on YouTube. And it'll, of course, be free for everybody. So if you want a Q&A, we're going to do some fun trivia questions. Or
we're going to play some
if you want to hear us
games.
sing,
you're going to see our wonderful faces.
Yeah, so we're really, really excited about that. We thought a little change of pace would be fun. So, again, thank you so much, and I really hope you like this. Do you want to say anything to the people before we go?
Thank you so much for listening. We love
Mm,
you.
yes, love you guys too. Bye bye.
Bye.